Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. My name is Sudhir. I have been reading this very fascinating book called Attitude is Everything by Jeff Keller. A very fascinating book. And I thought the taglines are very simple yet very direct. The first tagline is change your attitude, change your life. How deep, how insightful. The one at the back it says, if you can dream it, you can do it. If you can dream it, you can do it. Now, you would be wondering, why am I telling you all this? Because the content of this particular book is very relevant to each one of us, particularly you, because all of you are going to take your final exams, the board examinations, in the next few days. February and March are going to be the big months in your life. Now, there is a quote in the book here. Let me just take it out. Give me a minute. Yes. That's by American author Napoleon Hill. And listen to this carefully. He said, what the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. यानी कि जो आप सोच सकते हैं, जो आप प्लान कर सकते हैं, जिस पर आप विश्वास कर सकते हैं, उसको आपका दिमाग हासिल कर सकता है. Right? There is another one by Benjamin Disraeli, the former Prime Minister of Britain. He said, nurture your mind with great thoughts. अपने दिमाग में कभी भी ordinary या mediocre thoughts को मत आने दो. Always nurture your mind with great thoughts. Think of what all you are actually capable of achieving and then ask yourself, why not? Is there any one good reason why each one of you cannot be an achiever, cannot be a winner, cannot be someone who the world can look up to and say, look at him, hey, look at her, what an achiever. And that's what you need to strive for. Okay, so अपने दिमाग को बड़े सपने, बड़े ख्यालों से भरो और उसकी सिंचाई करो. And you realize the more you irrigate those kind of grandiose thoughts, they will actually start becoming a reality in your life. Okay, so now let's get to the nuts and bolts. Okay, ये तो हो गई मोटी मोटी फिलॉसफी की बातें. और ये फिलॉसफी की बातें ऐसा नहीं है कि इसको हासिल नहीं किया जा सकता. It's not something which is not achievable. Each one of each quote what I just now told you is actually practically implementable. Okay, now how do you implement all this in your life right now? As I said, for class 10 and 12 students, all of you are going to be taking the board examinations in a few days from now. For many, the exams are starting from the 12th of February. For many, the exams are starting around the 21st, 22nd of February, and they go on till pretty much the third week or the end of March. So what should really be our last mile strategy based on the kind of inputs I am reading in this particular book? I have some 5 to 7 broad points to make. The first point is focus on starting well. Because if your first two papers go well, trust me, it will give you a whole lot of fresh, new energy. You will think that, yes, I have done well in the first 2-3 papers. I can actually continue with the same form. Whereas, if your first 2-3 papers do not go very well, you will always be trying to catch up. You will be trying to ensure that बाकी के पेपर से आप पहले 2 पेपर में जो losses हुए हैं उसकी भरपाई करें. You will always be trying to average out. That will put enormous pressure on you. So ensure your first 2-3 papers are absolutely rock star papers. That's very important. So what you need to do, see, it's quite possible that 75% of your syllabus you may be knowing fairly well. Okay, it may depend from person to person, vary from person to person. It could be 60 in some cases, it could be 75 in some cases, it could be 85%. The remaining 25, 15, 20%, whatever be the part of the syllabus, ensure that you write down all the concepts where you think you are not 100% confident, and over the next 1 week, focus on that. Focus on those tough concepts. Take the bull by its horns. Ensure that you know each and every concept. Please don't make the mistake of thinking that that gap between 2 papers, oh, 3 दिन का gap है, मैं उसमें करूँगा. Please don't do that. this next 1 week is when, irrespective of whether you are having pre-boards or not, I'm assuming in most of the cases all your pre-boards would be more or less over. Many schools don't really push the pre-boards into February. They try to get over with it in January. But let's assume that at least from the 1st of February for the next 5 to 6 days, ensure that you have all the concepts covered. There should not be any concept or any chapter where you still have some doubts. Okay, that is not something very desirable. So make a list of those chapters, make a list of those concepts and focus on them. Point number 2. Always ensure that you are sleeping enough. 7 hours of sleep at your age is absolutely mandatory. It's absolutely desirable. So 7 hours of sleep, and this you could do as 6 hours in the night and 1 hour of an afternoon nap, because that would also rejuvenate you. It will energize you. You could always do that. So 7 hours of sleep, let's say 2 to 3 hours of other activities, taking a bath, eating and stuff like that. 3 hours, which is a lot of time. Actually, you should do it in less. So remaining 14 hours is the time which you should devote entirely to your studies now till the end of March. I mean, this is your karma bhumi. You need to perform. And if you don't do it now, what's the point of regretting in the month of May, June when the results would come, right? So this is something, because if your brain is not rested adequately because of lack of sleep, it will have an impact on what you are learning, what you are studying. Because what will happen is that there could be a brain fade moment. You will think that, Arey, I studied this, but I'm not able to remember. I'm not able to put my finger on what exactly I should write in the examination. And in the exam hall, every minute counts. So please be well rested. Is brain ko rest do. It's like, when you drive a car over a long distance, let's say on the highway, after a few hours, the engine gets heated up. You need to stop, allow it to cool down. So same thing works for your brain. I mean, this is the engine of your body. Now, make a realistic assessment of where you stand right now, right? And go in for focused studying. And by focused studying, I mean that, let's say, the next 6 hours, I'm going to solve, let's say, 50 numericals of physics, collated from different sources, pre-board papers of different schools that you could get, sample question papers, anything which is new, anything which is not just a repeat of the PYQs, right? So you try to test yourself, say over 6 hours, time yourself. In 6 hours, am I able to do X numericals, X number of sums in mathematics, whether you are able to do that. So go in for focused kind of studying. Put yourself through that rigor. ये आपको करने की जरूरत है. इससे होगा ये that your mind, your brain will get used to thinking at that kind of speed. It's not like relax, हाँ कर लेंगे. No, not like that. You will be under time pressure in the examination. So you need to also train your mind that now is the time for you to think fast. You need to think fast, and you could do that by practicing to think fast. And that's something which you could do. It always helps to start the day early. In fact, that's what I was telling my students also, that I always prefer to start the day early, because at 4:30 kind of time in the morning or 5 o'clock, the world hasn't got up. You are free. There won't be any kind of distractions. Even within the house, there won't be any kind of distractions. So you could actually spend a good 1.5 to 2 hours of absolutely uninterrupted. You will not be disturbed, and you could focus. And that's the time when you should look at subjects like mathematics and physics, because the mind is fresh. You say 2 hours, these many sums I'm going to solve. These many numericals I'm going to solve. These many reasoning questions I'm going to tackle. So keep a target, prepare it the previous night. Don't start looking for it in the morning, because morning, every minute is precious. Don't waste that time. Okay. Needless to say, keep distractions away. Social media platforms, please disconnect. WhatsApp, Instagram, Telegram channel, unnecessary YouTube channels, please disconnect. Anything that is not going to help you, disconnect. Please disconnect. Next 2 months you do not need any kind of distractions. Okay, now the other big point that I always say is the dream big. Just like in this book, dream big. Each one of you can be a winner, so there is no reason why you should not keep telling yourself, keep reminding yourself that toppers don't come from Mars. They come from your neighborhood. They come from your classroom. They come from your school. They come from your city. So why can't it be you? That's what you need to tell yourself, that you can be a winner, you can be a topper, you can also land up in the high 90s. And it's not just about the marks. In 96, 97 in class 10 may not do anything to your career in the long run. But what it will do is to give you a sense of achievement that yes, I am actually capable of doing this. And when you move to class 11 and 12, or in the case of class 12, when you move into college, you will always fall back on this inspiration. You can inspire yourself. You don't need to get inspired by anyone else. I did this in class 10. I did this in class 12. So there is no reason why I cannot repeat it once again, even later in your professional career. So please make yourself the role model for you. आपको कहीं पर भी heroes को ढूंढने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. You be your own Shahrukh Khan. Okay? And also I always say this because this is something I very strongly believe in. Do it for yourself. Do it for your parents. Do it for your mother who would get up at any time of the day or night to make whatever you need to eat, make you a beverage, a coffee, or any other kind of energy drink. Do it for your father who would drop you at the examination hall and wait for you while you're emerging after the exam from the exam hall. I'm saying this because I did that for my daughter Tejaswini. These are special moments. Make your parents proud. Trust me, there is no joy greater than that. To see their faces, their beaming faces and their faces of immense pride in the month of May, June, when your results come, trust me, no money in the world can buy that happiness. And you are actually capable. You are actually lucky to be in a position where you can provide that kind of happiness to your mother and father, to your siblings. Just imagine your younger sibling would look up to you and say that, जो भैया ने किया है या जो दीदी ने किया है, मैं भी वही करूँगा. Just imagine, you can be a role model not just for yourself, but even for your siblings, for everyone in your neighborhood. So this is your mauka. Why would you let go of an opportunity like this? A golden opportunity. Ye mauka hai. Okay. Small things, always keep your study space very neat and tidy. Because I always believe that the god or the goddess of learning will not come to a place which is dirty. Keep it uncluttered. Keep your table clean so that, it will fill you with, it will actually attract positive energy. It will generate positive vibrations. And that's very important. You need every ounce of positivity at this point in time. No negativity. Stay away from people who demotivate you, who are negative influences. Stay away from toxic people. Be positive. If anyone asks you for help, help the person, because it will also help you in revising that concept yourself. That's perfectly all right. But anyone who is kind of putting you down, stay away from any such element. So also don't lie down and study. It's not the right posture. The right posture is like this, at the table, on a chair, spine erect. That's where you get the right kind of a mood. Okay. If you feel lazy, stretch yourself. Don't go to sleep. Okay. I mean, that's always the easier option. Kal pad lenge. That tomorrow is the worst word that you can have in your vocabulary. Okay. Do it today. Do it now. Have a stress ball like this. Okay. Keep pressing this to remove stress. Stretch yourself. Just do uthak baithak. You will feel energized. If you love dancing, dance. If you love singing, sing a song. That's all fine. But look at ways in which you can actually de-stress yourself. Okay. I always believe that your future is in your hands. किसी और के हाथ में बिल्कुल नहीं है. And as I said right at the outset, attitude is everything. Enjoy the process, because 10 years, 20 years down the line, You should remember this phase of your board examinations as a lovely phase which you actually enjoyed. Not like, ki, अरे बेकार phase tha. No, as a phase you actually enjoyed going through. And you can tell maybe your children that, see, this is what I did when I was in class 10. So I want you to feel proud of it. I would want you to enjoy every moment. And that's the kind of attitude you should really have as you get set to enter the business end of this entire academic year, February and March. And I'm very sure each one of you, students of SWS, will be a winner, Trying matters. You should try. Nothing should be for lack of trying. बाद में ये नहीं सोचना था, अरे काश मैंने पढ़ लिया होता. The time is always the most important element because you cannot buy time. There is no price tag on time. So preserve your time, use your time judiciously and make the most of it. And as I said, this is an opportunity for you to make the people who matter to you immensely proud. So go out and do precisely that. Okay? Thank you very much for watching. All the best to you. God bless you.